Hey everybody, welcome back. I'm going to be modeling this interior scene, this kitchen, and putting some more detail into it in addition to what we have here, which is sort of like just a clay render of this thing. I should say that I got the idea to do this from a written tutorial for Blender, an old one, and I'll see if I can find the link and I'll put it in the description. And it goes through step by step a lot of the things to do and how to model it. And then I decided I'd make a video showing many of those steps, although some of them will be modified for my own purposes. The other thing I should say is this is, not quite a beginner's tutorial, but it's not that advanced, like me, like I always say. The modeling is for fun. I am not striving at all points to use only quads. There's going to be tries, there's going to be n-gons, and that's not a problem because this is going to be just for a static render. There's no animation, it's not used in a game. We're having fun and we're learning how to model. And as far as the n-gon thing goes, when you bring in a cylinder, right, the default is to have an n-gon on the end. So it's not going to be a problem here. Anyhow, I can't say that it's going to be exactly the same, but if you want to learn how to model something like this and you're a beginner, but you know your way around the interface, then let's go and do this. All right, so here I am in Blender 2.79, and I've just switched over to Cycles Render so I can use my GPU compute and maybe materials. If we get to that down the road, this will be probably a multi-part video. My screencast keys are on, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, I think I'll take the camera and the light, and I'm just going to hit X and delete them. And now, how to do this. I'm going to go 1 and 5 front ortho view, and let's bring this cube up so it's resting on the floor right now, and say, maybe that's a decent height and thickness for that for right now. So what we'll do is I'm going to hit tab and I'm going to go into edit mode, and of course I'm using that little pie chart thing you just saw there, pie menu. All right, otherwise you can just do it this way or just tab into edit mode. And I'm going to, in face selection, I'm going to select that face and this face, and we're just going to start doing this. I'm actually going to go from top view, and I am going to scale this in the X, and I'm going to hold Control SX. I'm going to hold Control. I'm going to snap out to there and to there. That's 3 grid units on both sides. Let's go 4. That's probably good enough. Or do I want to go one more? I think maybe I'll go one more. We'll see. SX, and I'll go one more holding Control. Didn't quite do it, so that's fine. Now let's try that again. All right, good enough. SX, so let's bring it a little bit closer to there. All right, cool. So I've got that, and now I'm going to go Control R, put an edge loop. I'm going to roll my mouse up and again 2 edge loops and accept that. And in top view, I'm going to scale them out to about here, I think, on both sides. So I'm going to go SX, and I'm just going to pull out to there and have a look at that. So these I'm going to extrude out and have my stove in there. I think that'll be all right. Let's go to face selection and grab both of those faces, top view, and let's hit E to extrude, and I'm going to pull down in the Y and snap, holding Control down, and figure out how far I want to come down. That's good enough for now. Okay, so it just looks like a square C. Okay, very nice. Now what I'm going to do is, I think I'll select all these top faces, and I'm going to make, I'll show you, I'm going to make this the countertop. I'm going to select those faces, and I'm going to go Shift D, and I think I'll leave it as part of the same object, so I can now I can move it up if I want a little bit. I'm going to go E to extrude, and I'll pull up a little ways to extrude to make the thickness of the countertop, just like that. But what we want to do is we want to have it overhang a little bit. So I'm going to grab this face and that face and look at the top view. I think I'm going to hit Z and go into wireframe. And I'm going to just pull these down just a little bit like that. Just to overhang there a bit. And then I'll go out of wireframe, deselect. I'm going to take this piece and this piece and this piece. Let's try it this way. Let's try E to extrude, Alt S, and pull in. All right, that's going to give me a curve there, isn't it? I can fix that. Let's try that again. Alt S, and come out. There we go. I can adjust how much. I just want to get them roughly equal. That's not bad. Okay. So if we go back into object mode, we can see that. So let's take that piece. So I select a piece and I go Control L. That will select all the linked parts of that, and I can just pull that down until it rests on top, not deleting faces underneath at this point. And I get that effect. So that we can see the shadows a little bit better. Let's hit N. And I'll come over to where it says shading, under display, shading. I'll turn on ambient occlusion. Now I can see a little bit of shadows underneath, so I can see what I've got a little bit better. And then N to close that. It's debatable if I wanted this as a separate piece or not. If I wanted it joined together. And do I want it a little bit thicker as well? But basically this, you can see what I've got. All right, right there. Let's, I can make it a little bit thicker if I just go through it and select all the polys. Okay, I just hit C to paint select. Hit escape to drop that tool. And as long as everything's okay, I can straighten some lines out. I'll make it a little bit thicker, like that. I do have a small concern, and that is about this edge being straight. And I see that it's not, I think, as I came out. So what I'll do is in Vertex Selection, well, I will select this one and this one, this one and this one. Look in top view, and I'm going to go SX0, and that's going to straighten them in the X. And I'll do the same on this side. And it's too bad that happened, but you know, sometimes things happen. You have to fix them up. SX0. So those are straight. Is this straight? Why don't I try this one as well? Grab those two and those two vertices, and I want this straight in the Y. I think it is, but just to be sure. What about these pieces? They look pretty straight there. So how's that looking now? Okay, not bad. You know, I do think I probably wanted that as a separate piece. I can still come into this and I can select a part of it and go Control L, and I can go P, separate by selection. If I do that now and set the origin of geometry for this piece and pull it off, I still have faces on that one, so that's good. That's what I wanted. So I'm going to bring this back and sort of rest it on. But I'm going to take this piece and we're going to be using that, Shift D and pull it up. I'm going to be using that to make the cupboards in a bit. Or we could do that almost right away if we wanted. But it makes more sense to make the stove, okay, to fit that in the sink. So I'm just going to, I think I'm just going to move this to another layer. I'm going to put it there. And we're back to this. All right. Now, to make the sink, let's see. I think what I'll do is I will go to another layer as well, make it a little bit easier to look from the top down. And my 3D cursor is still right in the middle, so I'm going to go Shift A, Mesh, bring in a plane, and I'm going to go into Edit mode, and I'm going to scale this in the X. I'll scale it in the Y a bit too, and then more in the X. So I'm going to do that. Hit the period key to zoom in and focus on that. And I think the way I'll do this is I'm going to, I'll hit E to extrude. I'll just pull it up a bit. And then we'll work on some curvature. So let's select these vertical edges. And we're going to have some n-gons here, but it's going to be okay. Control B to bevel, pull back, and put in a few loops like that. And then let's take this face and let's scale it out and just bring it up and just do this kind of thing. Okay, and let's hit I to inset and make sure it looks relatively even, and it does. And then we'll hit E to extrude, and I think I'll look in wireframe. And from the side, and I'll pull that down to there, and then I'm going to hit S to scale. I'm just going to scale it in like that. Let's get out of wireframe and have a look at that so far. Okay. And then I'm going to Shift Alt and click that whole edge. And I think I'll hit E to extrude, and I'm going to pull that down like that. All right. And let's see how this would look if we beveled this just with the default beveler. All right, we get all funny, so I don't need to do that anyhow. I'm just going to hit smoothing, and I can adjust the smoothing in a bit. I'm going to put an edge loop here and drag it up, and that'll help. Put one down there. Already it's starting to look a lot better. Okay, I may have to shape that differently, but let's take this now and move this back to the first layer and see where she lands. Okay. And bring it over to this side. And I will be changing the shape of this. Period key. All right, cool. All right, let's go into edit mode, select it all, and let's scale this in the Y. Like that. And position this. Let's say the sync goes down there. And then I'd have room for my tap still. All right, so the way I'm going to handle this, I'll go back a little bit, is I'm going to put some edge loops in this. And then we'll put some edge loops in the bottom as well. Okay, let's go into edit mode. Control R, and let's bring that under that part. Let's SY0 to straighten that. So I'll do it like that. And then we'll put an edge loop here. SY0. Okay. Let's do one lengthwise, or two lengthwise really. There. And there. And let's take that face and delete it. Okay, so far so good. And I'm going to do the same thing in the bottom. Let's actually hide that. Okay, so I do want the sync to go down a bit further, right? Okay, let's go into edit mode, and we'll just do the same thing. Control R, bring it. It doesn't really matter as long as the central part is the part that's going to dip down into there. That's probably okay. I can move these edges as well if I wanna, and I might wanna. But we'll see. So we got that. So let's see. Let's just get rid of that face. Hopefully that's going to be okay. Let's come up to here again and Alt H, bring that back. All right, so let's see if what do we got going on here? Did I miss a face? I think I might have missed a face there. Okay, so with that there, what I would then do is go in and adjust these edges again, or the vertices, and I can do this in wireframe if it's easier, and it might not be that much easier. So this one here and this one, I can try just pulling them in, and let's go back and see how that looks. It's probably going to be okay. Take this and pull it down a bit more. There we go. Actually, I'm not sure I want it. Well, yeah, that's okay. Or do I want it a little bit higher? Cool. Well, there's my sink. All right, so that's one way that you could do it. Let's make the tap Shift A, no, Shift S, cursor to selected. That brings the 3D cursor right to the sink. So when I bring in my next object to make the tap, it's going to be, close to where I want it. I'm going to want it here, but at least it's centered. So I'm going to use a cylinder, I guess. Shift A, mesh cylinder. I'll go with just 24 vertices. Notice the end gone on the end, right? That's what I was saying. Okay, let's go into edit mode and let's just hit S to scale. And we'll scale it down and position it a bit and think about how we're going to do this. Okay. Bring that in. Let's hit the period key and zoom in. So let's see what I did in this one here. So it's a big to small, and then we have the curve. Okay, so there's different ways of doing this, right? Okay, and I want enough room for my taps. But let me go Control N. Yeah, the polys are the right way. I just wanted to make sure. Okay, let's hit I to inset and come on in, E to extrude and bring it up. Okay, and then we're going to make the tap part. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit E to extrude again. I'm going to pull it up just a little bit. And like I say, there's lots of different ways of doing this. One cool way that you could do it is look from the front. My 3D cursor, actually go Shift S, cursor to selected, okay? Because I had that top face selected, so bring the 3D cursor right there. Look at the front and then hit N and come down to where it says there, 3D cursor location. With respect to the X, pull this so that the 3D cursor goes roughly over the sink, like that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the spin, and I'm going to spin tool in edit mode to make it go like that. So from front view, so you can see my selected region and my 3D cursor, I'm going to come over here and I'm going to click on spin, and you notice it curves downwards. Well, just change this from 90 degrees to -90, but that's not enough. All right, you can see it stopped at the 3D cursor. I actually want 360, so I want, or 180, sorry, minus 180. All right, so it'll come over and it'll go into the sink that way. The other thing that I want is to increase the number of steps. Although I'm going to put a subdivision surface, I might not need it. What I would like to do is go E to extrude, pull that down, Control plus to come back a bit, and then expand that E, scale Shift Z, just to do that kind of a thing, just as a final touch. I don't really need to make a hole in it. Let's have a look at, and to close that, of how this would look with a subdivision surface. If it would be smooth enough, we'll put on smoothing as well. And from the position we're going to be in, that's going to be smooth enough. And that's rather thick, but you know, I think that could be all right. Let's put some edge loops in here. Control R, pull it down just to tighten this up. Another one here. We'll come over to here, and I'll put an edge loop in here, pull it down, and one up there. Doesn't have to go right to the end, and one right down there. Let's just have a look at that. Okay, so once again, from the position we're going to be in, do we like that thickness of a tap? Is that too thick? What we could do is we could take this, let's go origin to geometry, Shift D, bring it over here. All right, let's just come into it, and actually let's take this edge, well, not that edge, I'll show you what I'm going to do. That edge, okay, Shift D, let's pull it out, okay, deselect. Let's just take a piece of that, Control L, let's get rid of that X, vertices. All right, so I've got that piece there. And let's say I wanted to start again. I have to make a face, E to extrude, and I'm going to pull down. I'm going to get rid of the subdivision surface on this one. Select it all, Control N, because my polys were flipped the wrong way. I could tell that by the color. And this time I'm going to inset more, like that. E to extrude. In fact, you know what? I'm not going to inset. I'm going to scale that out. I'm going to do another one. I'm going to come up. Then I'm going to inset one more time to about maybe that thickness. Let's come up to there. Let's just try this again, just for the fun of it. All right. Shift S, cursor to selected. Bring it to the face. All right. Then open the side panel and slide the X along. All right. I had it to about there before. Okay. Close that. Make sure that you are in the side view so you can see your face, so you can see the 3D cursor, and they're in line. Well, they don't have to be in line, but this is a good way to do it. Let's hit spin, minus 180, E to extrude, pull it down, E, scale, shift, Z, come on out, like that. Let's try a subdivision surface, and we'll just decide if we like one better than the other. Put some edge loops in here. Just like that. Hide that one. We can take that one and we can slide it over roughly central. I think I like that one. Alt H, big thick guy, say goodbye. Okay, now if we wanted it a little bit higher, which I might want a little bit higher, I can still come in here and I can edit this. I can grab this bottom face and go Control plus because I put an edge loop in there. Pull the whole thing down further. I'm going to put another edge loop there, like that, and then bring it all down, like that. And then let's select this, Shift S, cursor to selected. Actually, a more accurate way would be to look from, say, the side and choose a pretty much central point there. So I'm going to make the handles, I don't know, the tap part. Shift S, cursor to selected, right there. And I'm going to bring in another cylinder, Shift A, cylinder, it's 24 is fine. Let's rotate X90. And in edit mode, let's scale this down. Let's see, it's a lot more central. Let's look from the side and let's just scale this in the Y. It didn't come perfectly centered or anything. Like that, and then we can select that face and this face. And I'm going to go E, and I think I need to be in individual origins. I'm going to hit S, and it's going to scale it out like that. I don't think that's what I want, so I'm going to go to individual origins, and I'm going to go S, and that'll do that effect. And then I go E, and I want to scale in the Y. I have to go back to median point, SY. I'm going to pull it out like that. And I don't need to do much. I'll do that. Inset, and then I'll go E, scale Y. We'll come out one more time. So we'll put a subdivision surface, get a small amount of detail on that. So let's do that, and then we'll have to add some edge loops to this. All right, we'll hit smoothing, and we'll just put a few edge loops on here. We'll come in here, like that, and do one on the other side. And on this part. And yeah, our polys will go up, but it's not really a big problem. Let's put one down here and see if we like it rounded a little bit, if that's good enough. Well, we're going to have to deal with that. And the way we deal with that, this kind of stretching pattern, is we select this face and we just hit I to inset just once, just I in the default value. And that'll clear that up and we'll get that effect. Okay, let's come out and look. All right, that's our tap. And we're not going to see it in any great detail, but that's it. Cool. All right, moving along. Okay, so what we're going to do now, let's look from the front and tilt it, is we're going to work on the stove. right? We're going to work on the stove part. Okay, so I'm going to make a cube, and then I'm going to make these pieces as well. And I want it roughly to count, I want to look at the counter, the height. So I'm going to select, I think I'm going to select this because it is symmetrical. I'm going to go Shift S, cursor to selected, and I'm going to Shift A, bring in a cube. And I'm going to move it back, and I know that I want it to go to about there. And let's have a look at the height. Okay, so one, it's, the stove is going to be resting on the ground, so I'm going to bring it down to, say, there. I'm going to go into edit mode, and I'm going to select this top face, and I'm going to poke it through. I might want it not quite all the way through so that the top piece is there, so I'm going to bring it back down just a little bit. And I want the door, I think the door is going to be in front of this, so I think I might want it poking through like that. And that is it for the base of the stove. It doesn't matter about the back of it, as long as, let's go into wireframe, as long as it's deep enough. Let's grab this back face and pull it back a little bit. Okay, so there it is. Now, let's do origin of geometry, Shift D, and let's bring this piece up, but let's go ahead and hide this and hide that. Let's go into edit mode, and let's select all this and scale in the Z. This is going to be the top part of the stove. I'm going to pull it down to here. Now I'm going to be putting a bevel on this soon. That piece is going to come out to the front, and the door, it's going to be flush with the door, so it's going to be longer than the cube itself is. You'll see what I mean in a bit. In other words, it's going to stick out a little bit further, and then the door is going to be on here. I can leave it like that for now, but what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go Control R, put an edge loop, and bring it back to about there maybe. And in face selection, I'm going to take this face and I go E to extrude, and I'm going to pull it up. And then in edge selection, I'm going to grab that edge and I'm just going to pull it back to do that effect. All right, now it might be nice to bring everything back so we can see where we're at. That's pretty decent. This piece, of course, will rest on here, but with the bevel, it should be all right. This is what I was thinking about, though, whether or not it's long enough in the back. We're not going to see that, so it'll look like it's cut through, and I'll have a wall, but I might want to lengthen it. I'm not sure yet, so let's take this piece, Shift D, pull it forward, and go into edit mode. We're going to make the front door. Scale this in the Y, like that. Oh, I think I went the wrong way, so let's scale it in the Y a little bit more, a bit thicker, maybe like that. Let's look at from the front. Let's scale this in the Z, and then we'll start positioning this. This door is going to be essentially the same width. All right, so let's bring it in. And it would come up to here, and I'm just going to make it longer though. So let's grab this bottom face, pull it down. We'll go more. And something like that. We can always adjust all these. Let's origin to geometry. So all these pieces have their origin to geometry. Okay, we're just blocking it out. Shift D, let's do another one. Bring it down. Go into edit mode, select it all, front view, scale this in the Z, and we're gonna make the bottom drawer with a bit of a gap in between it, a little bit of space at the very bottom as well. All right, so we can do this. Once we have the bevel on there, that'll do something for us as well. All right, well, let's set origin to geometry. Let's go ahead and start actually adding bevels to this. It'll help to see what we're doing. Let's go for 2, and let's scale this back to we like the bevel, the amount of bevel on it. one thing we can do, if I want to get the same bevel on all of the pieces, is you can select a piece and then last select the piece that has the modifier you want and go L, no, Control L, and choose modifiers. And it will put the exact same bevel on there. So once again, choose that piece and then that piece and go Control L, modifiers. And same with this back piece, that piece, and any of these other ones, Control L, modifiers. And you can still adjust those, but something like this so far. So let's grab these two pieces and pull them back. And say, imagine if that was there. And then I might have to have this piece up a bit. So it goes to there. And that piece I can bring up a bit. To there. Let's remember to save. And then let's see if this needs to come out a little bit. And I can still do that with the bevel on there. It doesn't have to come out that much, really. You know, something like that. And yeah, that's looking all right. I kind of want to take this back part, those two, and pull them back. Even though the very base, you know, if I hide this and I hide this, I could do the same to this. I mean, I didn't have that back piece the same, but I do now, or very close. I don't care about snapping. It doesn't have to be perfect because nobody's going to see that, right? It's just like that. Okay, cool. Now, the next thing we'll do is we will work on this range part. Select this face and hit I to inset and pull it in a bit. And let's E to extrude and pull it down. Not too much, and we'll hit S to scale and just do that. And bring it back up a little bit. Let's have a look at that. So just get a small indentation there. Okay, so far so good. Now, this next part, I am going to create some holes, 4 holes. I'm going to do equal size holes. And then the burner part will fit into the holes. And I'm going to do a Boolean, and this is going to be n-gon, and that's okay with me. Cursor to select, I bring my 3D cursor there. Shift A, I'm going to bring in a cylinder. I'm going to make it 32 though, so that the holes are a little bit smoother. Scale, and look down from the top. And I'm going to start positioning this and imagining 4 of these. Okay, I'll come back into object mode. I'll set my origin of geometry so my transform tool is right on the cylinder, and I'll see how big it is. I'm going to want it to push down into there. You can look in wireframe too if you wanted to see how far down it goes. That's fine. I think it's fine anyhow. Let's try Shift D, just copying these. I'm not going to mirror them. Select those 2 and bring them down like that. How does that look for my 4 burners? Is that big enough? Do they need to be bigger? If I wanted them to be bigger, I could select them all and Control J, join them. I'm going to do that anyhow. Set my origin of geometry. I could go in, select them all, and in individual origins, I could scale them, but not in the Y, not vertically. I can go S, Shift, Z. I said Y, I meant Z. Let's see if that works still. That's fine. All right, just so we did it. All right, now the only thing is I do think actually they should be closer together. I'm going to go Control L. I'm going to bring these a little bit closer, go back into object mode, and I'm going to pull them over just like that. Okay, let's save. Let's do origin of geometry just because. All right, let's do a Boolean. Select the piece you want to cut. I'm going to minimize that. Choose Boolean difference, and for my object, use the eyedropper and select that. Hit apply. Select these and hide. And I'm into the countertop. So I may be cutting the countertop, which is what I think I am going to be doing, and deleting some of the countertop. Just want to decide. You know what? I don't think I need to do that. I don't think I will need to do that, and I'll show you why in a minute. I am going to select the faces and pull them up a little bit to there, and I'm on individual and scale, and do that. And that way I didn't go down as far, and I don't have to bother with that. Okay, I'm going to leave it like that for the moment, and let's build those the actual burners. So I'll tell you what I've got in just a moment. So let's go in, and we can do any of these. Let's select that face and go Shift S, cursor to select it. Bring the 3D cursor right to the middle of that. Let's go back into median point, and we can actually build right from this piece. It should be circular enough. Shift D and P to make it a new object. Let's just use that piece. Origin of geometry. And let's pull it up. So you see, that's what I've got. Let's go into edit mode, select it, and scale it in. And here's what we're going to do. Let's pull it down. E, I'm going to bring it up. E and S, I'm going to bring it out. E, bring it up. And that's going to be what it is. Okay, so what's going on with this baby here? All right, we just have the bevel on it, don't we? Okay, that's good enough for the moment. Let's Control N, make sure all my polys are flipped the right way. That's going to be fine like that. That piece goes right down to the middle. Now, I could be getting rid of faces that aren't going to show. It's always a good idea, but I am blowing a lot of polys in lots of different ways anyhow, but I'll show you that I can do that. And that'll change the smoothing as well. X faces, all right, and it's actually a little bit better, I think. Okay, now, Shift S, cursor selected. I need my 3D cursor right there on that thing. I'm going to create, you can't really see these things very well, but I'm going to create something there for that. So just watch what I do. I'm going to go Shift A. I'm going to bring the cube, scale it down. Let's bring it over to here. I'm going to scale it down again. Let me just think about this for a minute. Let's scale this in the Y a little bit. Okay, let's E to extrude and pull it out. Select it all, scale it in the Z a bit. I'm going to do it upside down. E to extrude, I'm going to bring it up. And upside down and backwards. I'm going to take this edge, pull it out like that. And this edge, pull it in like that. And that's what I wanted. Make sure all my polys are the right way. Origin of geometry on that. Let's rotate this, rotate X 180 to put it that way, and I have this. Okay, so we got to go in, and I'm going to scale this down. Let me look from the top. Make sure, yeah, that's centered. Might have to make that piece there a little bit smaller. Scale Shift Z. I can do it like that. Let's put the bevel on this, or a bevel on that. Let's see if I want to. Smoothing might look good. Now, is that how I want those? That's how I want those. And they are going to touch, aren't they? Okay, that's fine. I think I do want this bigger scale Shift Z, like that. Okay, so 3D cursor is there. Let's try just spinning this. Let's go into edit mode, and let's go spin Let's go 360, but let's do 5. Select them all, remove doubles, and Control N to flip any polys that were backwards. And that would be my burner like that. Okay. I can live with that so far. And then what I do is I'm going to take that bottom piece again. I want another cylinder piece. I'm going to take this piece, Shift D, P, to make it a new object. I'm going to take it with origin and geometry. I'm going to bring it up. And I'm going to go into edit mode. And top view, I'm going to scale this out like this. E, I'm going to pull it down like this. I'm going to select it all, flip my polys. I'm going to take this top face and inset like that. How much do I have to inset? I think I got to inset a decent amount. I'm going to bring that down. Let's try that and see where that ends up. I think I want those pieces on there, right? On that thing there. So what we could do is we could take I think I'm gonna apply that and join these control, and that'll fix that shading too. Let's scale Shift Z. Let's see if we can pull these out. Nah, it's going to change the thickness of that. Eh? All right, so what we'll do is we'll do that to this. Scale Shift Z, we'll just bring it in. And if I do that, no, so what I'll do instead, and I want that a little bit higher, and it's all going to work out, trust me. Okay, it's all going to work out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this inner edge right here. Oops. Shift Alt and click that line there, and I'm going to scale that in just till those things are there, and you get that effect, and that's basically what I wanted. Let's just bring this whole thing up, and I'll make this a little bit longer so this piece is a bit more visible, and then we'll add smoothing. Let's bring it all up so I can see it. Nope, not that. This one. Select that bottom face and just make it as long as I want. Let's put a couple of edge loops on here. Yeah, not too much. I can actually get rid of this bottom face, can't I? This face. Let's do it like that. And then take this and bring it down. Like that. Let's hit smoothing. And the smoothing's messed up. We can always fix that, but I think it's okay. One thing I think I want to do though is hit I to inset. Or do I? Yeah, it's not very visible, but it'll just change the shape. Maybe I won't do that. That's okay. Yeah, no. It's not worth putting a subdivision surface on this, I don't think. Where did I put it anyhow? Is it on the wrong thing? Yeah, it's put it on the wrong thing. What did I put it on? Get rid of that. That's not what I wanted. Oh, I'm trying to put it on this and just see if I really need it. Oh boy, I'm putting it on all kinds of wrong things. This device, that thing, come on, buddy. No, screw it. Don't need it. Okay, so let's take this piece and this piece. Is there anything that needs to be done? Apply that bevel. Oh, maybe because the bevel's on it. Yeah. Let's try it again with a subdivision surface. This is probably a waste. Does look pretty though. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's just go ahead and apply the... No, not that. Not that. Get rid of the bevel. Apply that so I can join these. Control J. Is that piece joined? Is it all one? It's all one. There we go. Cool. Okay, so we have a little bit of an indentation there too. So let's go in top view. Let's just take this, Shift D, and let's bring it over. That took a little while. I'm going to fussing around, take the two of them, and we'll have a look and see how our polys are doing. You know, that's the kind of thing that happens. So let's do dials on here. That's fine. Let's go Shift A, mesh, circle. Leave it at 32. We'll scale it. Let's bring it back here. Rotate X90. You know, just get a sense of the size of that. Period key to zoom in. No, it won't let me zoom in yet. There, put a face on it and zoom in. Let's scale that down and do it about that size. Nice and big. Bring it back. Okay. I'll scale it a bit more because I'm going to... No, I'm going to scale it bigger because I'm going to come in. E to extrude, I'm going to come out. Inset a bit. E, and that's all I'm going to do. Maybe I'll come back with a bevel. And I'll bevel these edges here. That one, Control B, pull back. This face I'm going to get rid of. X faces. I'll put an edge loop on here because I'm going to be smoothing this. And I know it's going to need it. And it's not going to be that seen that much. Origin of geometry, and we're going to scale this in object mode just like that. Let's bring it back. Let's look at 3 from the side view. And rotate X. Pop it out a little bit. Let's bring it down a bit, but that'll sink it. No, let's not do that. Let's just have a look and see. Yeah, I'm going to switch over to normal, and then I can more easily do this. And I'm going to go Shift D. I'm going to bring one over here. Well, let's see, actually from the front. Okay, and then I'm going to grab the 2 of them, Shift D, and I'm going to bring them over here. So we're not being exact mirroring and stuff like that. We're just doing it the way we're doing it. That looks all right to me. Okay, so far so good. I'm going to do a little window here, but we're going to kind of fake it a little bit, I think. I think what I'm going to do is select this face. Let's try it this way. Hit I to inset. Pull it in like this. But on the other hand, do I want it curved? Okay, maybe I do need to do a Boolean on this. Or I mean, I don't have to do it that way, but I think I want to do it that way. Let's just hit A and make sure we haven't done anything weird. Hit remove doubles. Yeah, okay. Yeah, let's do, let's select it. Shift S cursor to selected. Let's bring in a plane, rotate X90, go into edit mode. Actually, let's bring it out and go back to global. Let's scale. Now we can get a sense of how big we really want this thing to be. Scale in the Z. I'm going to want a handle up there, so this is going to be a little bit off center. Scale in the X, you know, like something like that. Right, as the window. Is that big enough? Maybe I'll select this edge and bring it down a bit more. Yeah, that's fine. So we're going to select that, E to extrude. I'm going to bring it out, and then I'm going to select the edges, just like I did before, to round some edges. And Control B, pull back, and we'll round this. Okay, and we're going to push this in like that, and we're going to select that piece, and I'll just close that up. And I'm going to choose Boolean, difference, and that piece, apply, take that piece and hide it. And then I'm going to get that effect, which is a little bit nicer than I would get otherwise. All right. Let's leave that like that for now. For now. And let's go in and select a central piece like that. Shift S cursor to selected. Always bring my 3D cursor there, and then you just need to think about a handle or how we want to do it. Let's just go Shift A. Yeah, okay, cube. We'll keep it simple. This is deviate a little bit from what I did before. We'll do this kind of thing, and then let's zoom in with the period key. Let's go Control R, put 2 edge loops, scale them in the X like this, and then select that face and that face, and E to extrude. Let's bring it out like that. Let's get rid of these faces because they're going to be buried, as you're going to see in a second. Let's put the origin of geometry and then let's flip it around. Rotate X 180. And then let's bring it in, and then we'll look at the size of it. I think I'm going to do it that way. Yeah, let's change the size of this. Scale this in the Z. And let's scale in the X a bit longer. And for this piece, I can put a bevel on it and leave it a little bit rounded. Now we can try smoothing. Yeah. It doesn't like that one. You know, that's what I think I'm going to do there. And then I'll just take it, Shift-D, and I'll copy it down here. We'll zoom in though. And in edit mode, I'll select it. I'll try just scaling it in the X and seeing how much it changes. It changes the thickness of these handles. So I think the way you should do this is in wireframe, box select part of it, pull it in. Therefore, the thickness here is not changed by just scaling it. You just have to center it now. I'll put origin of geometry, and then I'll just zoom out a little bit, and I'll just center it roughly along this. You know, so we'll have those two. Maybe I'll have that centered. And that's most of my stove, whether or not I put a piece of glass there or not. Cool. All right. Well, let's get rid of these pieces here. And out there I've got that stuff. So we are moving along nicely here with our stove and our sink. Not bad. Right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to have cupboards here and a cutaway for the fan for the stove, whatever you call that thing. But I don't think we're going to have this part here, so let's go into this anyhow. And in face selection, I think, no, I don't want to do this. I want it thinner. I just want to think about this. Yeah, it's gonna do that. I can scale this in the X. And I can take this piece and just pull it back. And then I can take these, oops, I can scale X 0. I didn't want to do that. Well, I mean, I can just, it's probably okay like that anyhow. All right, so what I can do is I'll turn on snapping. The vertex, I'll grab these two vertices and I'll pull them and snap to that. I'll take these two vertices and I'll pull and I'll snap to that. I'll take these two vertices and I'll pull, and then I'll mouse over that one to snap to that. These two vertices, and I'll pull and I'll snap to that. And I don't know if that was the way I wanted to do it, but it worked. So we would have cupboards there. And what I'll do first, though, is I'll create that fridge fan type thing. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to put in a couple of edge loops, and just like that. And I'm going to make them around the width of the stove, maybe a little bit smaller. So scale in the X. And oh yeah, I got snapping on still, don't I? Turn that off. Like that, I think. And then I'll put an edge loop in like this. I'll pull it down to maybe there. And then I'm going to take this face and this face. Let's just go ahead and delete those faces. I'll leave the back one on. And then we'll take this edge and this edge, F to make a face. This edge, not that one. This one and this one, F. This one and this one, F. And is there any reason why I'm leaving that on? I just think I want that there. All right, cool. And then I'm going to select that edge there, Shift S, cursor selected, and I'll come back out and Shift A, and I'm going to bring in a cube. And we'll go into edit mode and scale it a little bit smaller than that hole. Scale in the Z, so it's just tucked under there. All right, and let's grab this bottom face here too. We'll pull it up. Let's just see how much it overhung. Very close to, this hangs down just a little bit more. All right, and doesn't have to be that long. It's just like, do it like that. And I'll put in an edge loop like this. I think I probably will be pulling this out a little bit. Grab that top edge and pull it in like that. Just grab the whole thing and pull it out a bit like that. Okay. Does that look big enough? Looks a little bit narrow to me. And so, if it does, which it does, can I just go all the way around now still? I could select that, and then that, and that. I have to select all these edges, not that. Let's see if I'm just getting the ones I want. Why is that getting selected? Let's try this, scale in the X. Pulled basically what I wanted. So let's bring it back in a little bit. And then let's take, not that. Let's take this. Let's just scale this in the X like that. I think maybe I will take the back of this, both pieces, and pull them back. Okay. I could indent this a little bit, or inset it. I think it's not quite even. Let's scale this in the Y a little bit there, and just pull it up a bit. Okay. I got the angle right at there. I want to see how similar that is. It's a little bit higher. Let's scale this in the Z and pull it up. Okay, let's take this object, we'll use the same bevels with that one, and then I'll click on this one and I'll go Control L and get that bevel on there. All right, And we can put a little button on this maybe. Select that. Oh, I can build it out of that piece. Shift D. Let's bring it out. Let's scale in the X and scale in the Z. Scale in the X again. Extrude it a bit. Oop, not that. Control L. Let's pull this back to here and slide it along. That's going to be too big. Let's just have a look at what that's looking like. Even just like that. So it looks like something's there. Okay, cool. Now, am I going to get rid of the cupboards? Yeah, I'm going to get rid of that because I want the wall there. Cool, so we're going to get rid of that piece here. So I'm going to take, actually going to take that and that, and I'm going to X vertices like that. And then I'm going to, I guess I'm just going to close this up. F. So that'll be like that. So far, so good, guys. So far, so good. Takes a while. I'm making some mistakes along the way, too, by the way. I have a lot of tries. I don't care. I don't care. It's fine. Yep. All right, let's start doing this. Control L, modifiers. Let's get the bevel on there. I'm not saying that this is the absolute final bevel that I would definitely use. We're just trying to see. To move this down, and that will affect my sink and this, I think. Let's try this sink. Let's see how the sink's going. I think the sink's okay. And this thing here, that and this. There we go. Is everything else okay? Everything else is okay. Okay. Now, okay, let's go in and have a look at this. I'm going to make cupboard doors, and I'm just not sure. I think I'm going to put an edge loop here, and I'm going to like carve out a cupboard or get a piece. You know what? Do I really want to do it that way? I don't think so. Let's just bring in another cube. Just bring in a cube and do it that way. Scale this in the Z. I don't want the complete height. I want it close though. Grab that. All right, let's get the thickness of this guy. What's going on? Like that, perhaps. Scale that in the Y. Just imagining if that was a cupboard. Okay, I can make it bigger. Scale in the Y. All right, well, let's say I did that, and then I Shift D and I copied it, and I brought it out a bit. Let's zoom in, go to edit mode. Let's scale this in the Z. Let's not flip it around. Let's scale this in the Y a little bit, and in the X. Let's bring it down. Touch. I can get rid of the back face. That's going to be like the handle. Okay. that'd be all right. Okay, so let's set the origin of geometry on that. Well, a trick instead of trying to get the back faces, just take this X faces and then just rotate it. Rotate Y 180. All right, so that's done. That's gonna touch down there. And I can take those and join them. And then we can do this. Control L and get that bevel on there. All right. And then we can adjust the size of these. But let's try an array in the Y. And we'll see how this looks. Okay, so I can't quite get 4, but I can. I don't want them that close. So I want 1.05, let's say. If I go to 3 and I select it all and I scale in the Y, how big will they be? That's a bit big. I can have a smaller. Well, actually, let's scale in the Y a little bit. I could have that, and then I can copy it, but we'll get rid of the array on that one. Now let's look from the side. 3. I can go into this one, and I can scale this in the Y. Or I can do it this way. Get the approximate size there. Go into wireframe, and then box select that half, and pull it till I like. Looking at this blue line. Okay, so some big cupboards and some shorter ones. I think maybe this whole thing could go that way a little bit. So I'd have that. Okay. And then if I took this and I Shift D and I brought it down and then forward, but I want to flip it around. Rotate X 180, so the handles are facing up. And these can be different thicknesses or widths as well. There can also be a little bit of counter space here. That's not the end of the world either. So I'd have them on the top and the bottom there. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. So Shift D, rotate Z 180. And these ones are going to come over here. Okay. All right, and then let's try something else. Let's try taking this, Shift D, rotate Z 90 minus, and let's make some drawers here. All right, then we'll get rid of the array. We'll take that one, and we'll go, we got origin geometry. Okay, that's fine. Let's make sure it's the right depth. So we got that. And we can make this a little bit wider. I think it'll need to be. Let's look straight on. Let's go into edit mode, select it all, scale in the X. Make it a bit bigger and making sure it fits there. And then what we'll do is in wireframe, I'll grab the bottom and I'll pull it up to make a drawer. See if I can get 3. We'll array this though. Let's array this in the Z. and not in the X. And we'll see if we can get 3. And what we got to do some work on that. It's too short. I want the height though, like that. So in the wireframe, we can just grab that, and well, I also want them closer. Maybe that's what I'll work on first. So I take that back. Let's do that. And then we'll do this. How's that? Put them on the other side too. Just want to make sure that these are, yeah, that's fine. I don't like that much space here, so I think I need to make these bigger. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do that. Scale this in the Y. And then pull them in. Scale in the Y again, just a bit smaller. I think I like that better. And so I'll bring those over. Shift D, rotate Z 180. It just takes time. You know, there's nothing hard going on here. It just takes time to position everything and just repeat. I don't mind doing it, but it's coming along. Okay, cool. So now what we'll do is we got to do some up here. So I'm just going to take these. Right? Yeah. Shift D, rotate Z 90 minus. And it's going to be the same thing with these. All right. I could get, say, 2 of them along here. Yeah, let's go with 2 of them and then change the width. Change the count to 2. Oops. Scale in the X. Actually, scale in the X a bit more. Okay, and then we'll take this, we'll go with that theme for now, and we'll just increase the count. So I get 3 there, 2 there, and take this, should be the way I'll do this is I'll shorten them like this. Not sure how much. I'll just start messing around. And I'll scale in the X a bit. Let's do it all in wireframe. That's about where I want them there, so let's just bring this down so it's pretty much level with those, as much as we can. We got a couple above the, no, that's not good yet. I want them down here. How's that? Is that it? These are awfully wide. But that's okay, that's basically the way it goes. All right, so far, so good. What do we got to do? Okay, the walls and the windows. That's where I think we're at. So, okay, so now what we'll do is we will select that back part there. That's okay. Go Shift S, cursor selected, and Shift A, and we're going to bring in a plane. Rotate X 90. And start building the walls. Bring it out just a little bit. Go into edit mode. And let's look from the back. Control 1 is the back. Let's scale this in the X. Like that. And then let's grab this top edge and let's just pull it up to above there. This bottom edge, pull it to right around the floor. Okay? And then let's grab this edge. We'll pull it out a little bit. And then we can adjust all this. And we'll do the same with this edge. We'll see where we're at. Pull it out a little bit. Okay, and I'm going to select both of those edges, and I'm going to go E to extrude, and I'm going to pull them out this way. I'm going to pull them out past there. Okay, so we're getting the walls in there now. All right, cool. And then I'm going to come in here, and I'm going to put some edge loops too. And I'm going to sort of start positioning where I would want my window. Like, want it roughly equal for my sink. So I don't know, it doesn't have to be a huge window. It doesn't have to be, that's all right. Just like that. Let's say Control R, put an edge loop there. Control R, put an edge loop. And just, decide on the size of your window. I can adjust these in a bit. Select that face and delete it. See if you like that size for your window. Not bad. Okay, and then what I think I would do is I would build a frame for the window. And how do I want to do that? Do I want to take one of these edges, or do I want to take all the edges? Maybe Shift D, P to make them a new object. Select it, and origin and geometry, and then I got that piece. And select it. Let's see what I want to do. Maybe ES, scale it outwards. And this may not scale equally outwards. I think it doesn't in the scale in the Z. I think it needs to be like that. And then select it all, E, and what am I doing? Right forward. Select it all, Control N to flip any polys that are messed up. Let's just bring it back and see what it looks like here. Yeah, I think it's all right. All right, and then what I could do, I guess, is let's do this again. Let's take now these pieces are bent now, are they? Let's see. Let's find out. Shift D and bring that E. Well, all my polys should be the right orientation. Okay, so I could get that piece, Control L, just like that, and look from 3 from in behind there. And if I don't care about getting it perfectly accurate, I could go one in the middle, Shift D, one about halfway, and then about another halfway, Shift D, rotate X 90, put that in the middle, and then scale in the Y to do that. Shift D, put it roughly in the half. If this is the style of window you're interested in, this is the kind that I did before. And let's have a look and see if that worked out for us. I think it did. It's not very exciting, but we could then take it, we could put the bevel on it. And just bring it down. Might have to do some adjustments to some of these ends. is, so what I could do, actually make it all work out, is just select this outer edge and see if I bring it out, it could cover up any problems. That's probably what I'd want to do anyhow. I'm satisfied with that as a window. There you go. Cute little window. All right, we could also select this and get this edge here and this edge there, just the two of them. Shift S, cursor to selected, so that I get my 3D cursor. Why did that happen? That's not what I wanted. I got too much. That edge and that edge. Shift S, cursor select, should be down near the bottom. And then I can come out, and then I can go Shift A, mesh, plane, and I can do the floor. Is all I'm getting at. Scale that in the X. Like that. And then get that edge. Bring it out roughly to there. And this edge. In fact, it's often a good idea is to bring it up. Let me see, where's my... Yeah, it wasn't on the bottom of my cabinets there. Now, that is pretty close to where I left off in this image here, I believe. All right, and it's been, how long has it been? Yeah, it's been an hour and a half, all right. If we want to have a look at this, let's go in, let's just try just another, it's going to darken things up for us too, maybe a bit too much. What about in just material? So it's all the same, okay? Let's have a look at how we could start to get this rendered and stuff. What's here? That stuff. Let's move everything to the first layer. So every single thing's there. Let's go deselect and let's go Shift C to bring the 3D cursor back to there. Make sure everything's saved. All right. So this is what we have so far. Okay, we have a lot of tries, but it's not going to affect our render, and it's just fine. It's just fine. Okay, so let's go Shift A, and let's bring in a lamp. Let's bring in a sun, and let's position it out here as if it's outside the window. And let's rotate it up so it's shining through the window like that. Well, that's not quite where we want it. There we go. It's shining through the window. All right, that's going to be the sun, and I'm going to make this, I'll try 5. I'll make this 0.3 just for now as well. Just for now, yellowish. That can even be more yellow, actually. More green. I'll just leave it there. Okay, shadows, yeah. Let's bring in a camera. And hit N, and let's go lock camera to view and 0 so we can look through the camera and start getting our shot. Let's hit the home button to maximize that, and that is what we got. Okay, and let's save. What if I hit Shift Z? How are we doing so far? You start to see it. Might have to move that sync down. I'm not sure, but I'm gonna do it anyhow. Yeah, I think I did have to do that. Oh, jeez. Move that a tiny bit that way. No, that's not good. So let's scale this in the Y just a little bit. Hopefully no cracks of light go shine through it, and that should be okay. But can it go down still? Let's just do that. Let's also select this, Shift S, cursor to selected, Shift A, bring in a point light there. Let's make this 20. Let's make this a bit yellowy. Let's make this 0.3 as well. We're just going to try it. There's point light. Okay, camera view. Let's click on the world and make this a bit lighter. Shift Z. Okay, so that looks a bit weird there, but just for now. Okay. The sun, I'm going to make it 4. This, I'm going to make 15. All right, well, this is what it looks like so far. And definitely this part is blown out. And the lighting is not great right now. But before we fix that, we'll note that it does look pretty similar to the other image. All right, pretty similar. Let's go ahead and do the sort of the tiling or the backsplash on this. So the way I would do this is, first of all, I think I'm going to take the camera and the lights, and I'm going to move them to another layer. And I'm also going to, I'm not going to hide that. I need that, don't I? Oh, and this one. Move that to the other layer too. So they're not there getting in the way. Let's save that. Okay. My 3D cursor is back there. That's good enough. So I'm going to go Shift A, and I'm going to bring in I guess I'll just bring in I'll bring in a cube. Actually, we'll bring it out here. We'll zoom in a bit. We're going to edit mode, and we're going to scale quite a bit. We'll scale this in the Y. Let's get a sense of the size of that. We can have these be pretty decent sized. Okay, let's do what we did before. Let's take that face and let's delete it, and then let's rotate it around the Y, or Z, I mean 180. And let's take this front face. Let's zoom in though. And Control B will bevel back like that. And then we'll take the whole thing and we'll squish it. Scale this in the Y like that. Well, I can scale this a bit more. Hopefully it's visible enough. I can even pop it out a bit more. Okay, so like that, eh? Let's have a look at an array of that. And let's go 1.02, no more than that. 1.04. Let's see what happens if I do that. Period key to zoom in. Push it against the wall. Like that. I think it's too thick. Scale this in the Y. Just in object mode. And if I do that, I can go Control A and do that. Set the scale. Let's try bringing this up to the top in the corner. Okay, polys, here we go. Now, a lot of people would put in an image. For this, we're doing it all in modeling. Oops. So go one more, or one less, and make them bigger. Let's watch this corner as I scale it. All right, that's fine. Let's just do another array, or do I want to copy that? I'll copy it, but we'll put it 0 in the X, and we'll start bringing it down in the Y. Sorry, in the Z. I keep getting those two confused. Oh, come on. That fit's not bad. I could go for that. Just like that, not beveling it or anything. Just to give some texture back there. Okay, let's go back to our camera view. All right, well, this is what it looks like so far. All right, it's pretty similar to the last one. I can see some issues with this. I don't like my point light here, and I got some weird artifacts here. I don't know about the curvature of this either, but you know, it's a stylized thing, but we're moving along. So I think what we'll do is we'll leave it there for now. We've done a lot of the basic modeling, and we'll add more details, some dishes and cups, maybe a toaster, a coffee pot, you know, that kind of thing. So I'll see you in the next one.